All right, welcome. This is probably one of the most important videos if you're in the remodeling industry that you could ever watch. We are going to break down the difference between an estimate, a bid, and a proposal. And if you're confused, you're not alone. This is a rampant problem across the industry, not just with homeowners, but surprisingly with contractors. I bet you $100. You go in any supply house, you walk down the street, you ask 10 people to tell you the difference that are in the industry between a bid, an estimate, a proposal, and you will not be able to get more than 3 of them to explain it properly. All right, so let's break this down. I have some videos on TikTok that you've seen where I get into this, and they always do well. Understand this. The reason that there's so much chaos and confusion in the industry is because homeowners and contractors think they know what they're talking about and they don't. This causes chaos, conflict, and it's why projects go south and why homeowners get frustrated. So, understand this. Many of us are using the wrong pricing tool at the wrong time. Estimate, bid, proposal, they are not the same. There are distinct differences. And if you don't understand those differences, brother, you're setting yourself up for real miscommunication, disputes, loss of trust, and margin collapse. Yeah, no profit. So let's fix it. All right. Have you ever had a client say, but I thought that was included, Joe? And suddenly, here you are doing some extra work for free because your one-page bid didn't explain a proper scope? That is not a pricing problem. That's a positioning problem. Remodelers get into trouble. Hear me now. When they blur the lines between a ballpark estimate, a formal quote, and a full-blown solution/proposal. All right. So if the homeowner thinks that they're getting one thing, but you think that you're giving something else, you have just set the perfect trap for yourself. You're going to lose. You're going to be frustrated. The homeowner's going to be pissed. So here's the real issue. Most remodelers were never taught the difference. You just grew up thinking you knew. So they treat, let's say, a $75,000 kitchen remodel like maybe a $7,000 roof tear-off. And then they wonder why the project goes sideways. Follow me. We're going to break it down. Estimate. What is it? It's a guess. A ballpark range. Now, what's important about that? The word range. That means there's 2 numbers. We give a number here to here, and there's a space in between. An estimate is not a single price. For example, yes, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, for what you're discussing, we're probably looking at somewhere between $25,000 to $40,000. That is an estimate. That is a range. Now, you might be saying, well, when do we use an estimate? You use it on the first conversation, right? Homeowner calls you on the phone. You're talking to them. You're texting them. This is how you check alignment. It's part of what we call the weed the lead process. You're filtering out, seeing if you're a good fit for them and are they a good fit for you. Now, where's the risk? Clients hear numbers as a promise, not a placeholder. So that is how many contractors get on the hook because the homeowner only hears one number. The key phrase in all of this is, so Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, this is just a rough guess, ballpark, estimate. We would need to dig deeper to finalize the scope and the actual cost, investment. You get to choose those words. All right. Number 2, some would say bid. You might even hear the word quote. What is it? This is a fixed price offer for a clearly defined scope. What are we talking about here? Details. We're going to include basic line items, some specifications. We're probably also going to line out some exclusions This is not included, just like this is included. So when do you use a bid and a quote? When there are plans and specs that you can work off of, and the scope is tight or clearly defined. Now, where's the risk in this process? When you supply a bid or a quote, if you underestimate or if you miss a detail that was on the plan or in the scope, you eat the cost, not the homeowner. The key phrase when you're discussing a bid quote with a homeowner is, this bid reflects exactly what's on the plans that we were provided, dated, such and such, reference number. Any changes later will require a change order, and this is where you get into your change order policy. All right, number 3, the proposal. Follow me here. This is being where you bring in what's called a consultative, trust-building, narrative-driven solution. What am I saying? You are now including goals, pain points, timelines, payment schedule, materials, scope, and investment. You're giving the complete package. When do you use this? Primarily for more detailed remodels, especially those of you that are entering into the design build section where you're going to control the process. And when you want to have more of a high level trust and engagement with a homeowner. It can be done for decks as well, fence projects, right? You draw the plan. This is what we propose. This is how we're going to tackle it. These are all the details, right? You're giving the homeowner a complete package. The risk here is minimal because expectations have been professionally documented. Everything is out on the table. You understand clearly everything that the homeowner wants. You're showing them how everything that you are providing, the solution. See that? There's not a lot of gray area in this one. All right. Key phrases when you use proposal. Folks, this is your plan. These are your goals. Here's your problem. Here is our solution. And now we have a roadmap for how we're going to get there by working together. All right. So let's look at this. The big mistake that most people are making. You can't treat these as interchangeable terms. No. This is how you and the client both get confused. Expectations get missed. Margins, they get burned. And trust, it falls apart. Okay. So let's break all this down even more. How can AI help? Glad you asked. Well, AI can be pretty powerful these days, and it can give you language to help clarify. You can ask your favorite AI agent to help you write a simple, clear, client-facing definition page that you provide to the client up front. And it explains the difference between an estimate, a bid, and a proposal. Then you can work with them to see what exactly they want. In my world, estimate, that's free. I give you that in a few minutes over the phone because we're all just guessing. You want a bid? You want a quote? A proposal? Perfect. Here's our process for that. Okay. So you'll want to use AI to explain the difference to the homeowner between an estimate and a proposal and a bid for that kitchen remodel, right? And you use homeowner-friendly language. You can use AI to help you create what's called smart structures. You can drop in some rough scope notes. You can have AI help format that into a real proposal for you, right? It can be written more professionally. You can ask it to write a summary or come up with the milestones. Maybe you want it to help you in determining the actual terms. You can help get refined. It becomes cleaner, and you now have more consistent process for all of your documents. And you can have this done in minutes if you don't already have a strong foundation. Now, third thing you can use AI is to stabilize expectations. You want to generate a clear outline if you do have a design build process so that the homeowner has clarity to what that means. You say the term all the time. The homeowner doesn't quite understand it, so you educate them. You can use AI to help autofill, and you can figure out the best way to reduce scope creep by sending clients some pre-written outlines of what has been agreed to and what is included and possibly what is excluded. There may be some unknowns. That has to be clearly identified. All right, so here's the thing. I'm not trying to give you the exact prompts right now. We get into that in our Rebel program. But these are the foundational principles that you need. All right. Today is really about the awareness. There'll be other times where we get more into how we automate this. The first step is just realizing how many people are using the wrong term, the wrong document, and how it's costing all sorts of problems throughout the country. This is another way that you can differentiate a rookie from a professional. Somebody who is inexperienced from someone who's experienced. It works on both ends. You have inexperienced contractors messing this up all day long, and you have inexperienced homeowners. The more experience somebody has in this industry, the more they start understanding the difference between the three things. All right, so imagine this. Here we are. You sit down with that homeowner, and you say, guys, we're going to start with a rough estimate to make sure that we're all in alignment. Then, if that works well, we'll move into a professional proposal situation that outlines the step, the scope, the budget, the allowance, the timeline, the expectations. When they don't flinch, when they nod, they trust you, they see your difference, right? You let them know that you're not just another fly-by-night contractor. You are now their guide, their advocate, their consultant, right? The trusted expert. And if they say, well, the other guys didn't do all that, then you just sit back and say, exactly. And that's the difference between a quote and a professional solution. See, this is how you stand out. This is how you protect your profit margin. And this is how you win jobs without being the cheapest. You'll probably have to watch this video more than once. Okay? This is a process that you have to perfect so that you can structure it and guide the homeowner with confidence. Do not expect to be able to do this the first time. It takes practice. You're going to mess it up many a time before you get it right every time. So, final message here. Understand that a confused client will become a combative client, possibly. You don't want that to happen. Clear documents, a clear process creates confident buyers that are happy to work with you. Don't treat a proposal like a bid. Don't treat a bid like an estimate. And don't treat your business like a guessing game. So AI can help you with this, as can our Rebel program. Stop losing the profit before the project even starts. Thank you. Guys, remodel on, remodel well, remodel profitably.